So with Valentine's Day just around the corner, when I think Valentine's Day, I think, well, I want to give my Valentine a card and then maybe some little goodies or a small gift card or whatever it may be. And today we've got just the solution for the little basket of goodies or a little gift card or whatever it is that you want to give them. And it's really quick, very simple, and very beautiful actually. So I've done a little bit of pre-prep here. And as you can see, I've glued these pieces together. So there's a total of 4 pieces like this. They're all identical. If you put them on top of each other, you'll see that they're all identical. So it doesn't matter which one goes where. And then you'll have 2 pieces like this, where the hearts are cut out here. Okay, and then you'll have 2 pieces like this. One that I've already glued on here and one that I've already glued on here. So grab all 4 of these and glue them to this piece here. Okay, now mine is, this is actually like a glittery paper, so I had to be a little extra patient with this one, just because when you try to glue anything to glitter, it doesn't always want to stick. So I'm gonna have to probably cut in between my gluing efforts here, because it takes a little bit longer to get this to adhere. So all you want to do is just match this up with all the little holes that are cut out in the base layer here. So as long as you get all that matched up, you know you've got it right on target. Okay, and again, I'm gonna slide this under my mat. Maybe that will kind of help get this thing to stick better. And then we're just going to repeat the same thing with this one here. So just throw our glue on here. Make sure that you get that glue out around the little scalloped edges here, just so that those don't come pulling off anywhere. And I'm just kind of doing a little circular motion here to make sure that I get my glue out to the very edges there of those little scallops. And I'm working with some graphic 45 paper, which is perfect for this occasion. And again, just matching up the little circles there. Make sure that you've got it lined up all the way around. And give that a press. And then I'm going to go ahead and immediately slide this under here and hope that just that little bit of pressure gets it to stick. And we have a beautiful scripted love you caption that we're going to put on this little base layer here. So I'm just being very delicate with my glue here and just hitting this spot and that spot, just some random spots. You don't really need to cover the entire thing. There's a lot of little details here, and as long as you get enough in some of the key spots, especially towards the edges, you shouldn't have any issues with it. And when you lay this down, just make sure that you leave a nice border all the way around. Could kind of help to pick it up a little bit and scooch it around until you've got it nice and centered. And I pretty much do. There we go. So we've got the love ya part. Now we just got to get the OU in place, and that's right here. Just a few little dots of glue will do. And get that nice and centered there. There we go. Okay. All right, so we've got 2 of those. And this love you caption is going to go on this piece here that has the little hearts cut out, and we want to get that just kind of centered right there. If you want to add a little dimension to this, you could pop dot this or use some foam squares to give it some dimension. I think that would actually look kind of cool, so I may do that. Let's do that. Why the heck not? I'll just throw some foam squares on the back of this. It's a pretty small little piece, so I'm guessing that maybe 3 of these guys will do the trick. And If my team yells at me for zotting these, I can always peel them off. But I think this will look nice. I'll give it a nice little bit of dimension too. Make sure you get it nice and lined up and straight, nice and centered. And before you press it down, just kind of let it go and take a look and see if you love that. And I love you. There we go. Right about there. I'll just give that a press. Okay. All right, so that's set. This one's going to go on the other one. These are the little accent pieces for the bottom of our basket. We've got 4 hearts that aren't really round. They're kind of skinny, and you'll notice that they have some score marks on them. Those are going to go on the corners of our little basket. So just get those folded. Okay, now this is a white core glitter. So I may just take a little bit of red and run it right in the center there where I've got that glitter, just to kind of hide that white. And I can probably just do that straight from the ink pad. Just hit that with a little bit of red. Just to kind of hide that a little bit. That's fine. Okay, and these other hearts, those are going to go on the little handle just to kind of give it a little more interest. Okay, so with that said, you can go ahead and put together our little base here, the actual basket itself. Okay, so now before we get started assembling this, I'm kind of doing this in reverse here. You'll notice that on the bottom of these tabs, you've got numbers. You've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, so just make sure that they're in order, okay? And the reason for that is because we've got little markers for the handle and they need to be on opposite sides, so that just kind of helps you get them in the correct order. Okay, so either way, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter as long as it's in chronological order. It's pretty straightforward. So what we'll do is we'll construct this thing, and then before we put the bottom on, we'll put all the sides on it so that we can work flat. Okay, and all we're doing is just kind of connecting this like so. Okay, and this is going to be kind of angled a little bit, so it's kind of flaring out just a tiny bit. So let's do this. Let's start at the bottom. And let's get this first tab anchored. Let me fold this over so we can kind of use it as a guide. And don't worry too much about making a mess here, because we're going to be covering this all up in just a moment. There we go. So get that anchored, make sure that it's nice and aligned there. Okay, and then we'll just work our way up. I'm just going to do like maybe 2 tabs at a time here. And just get that connected. Just follow the curve here. Make sure that you're getting those tabs nice and aligned. And actually, I just realized that because this is curved, it's not straight, we may need to put the panels on after we get this whole thing constructed, which is not a problem. It's not a big deal. All right, so next tab and next tab. Working our way up. Just making sure that, you start from the bottom, get each tab nice and lined up before you go to the next one. I got the glue on 2 of them, but I'm still working my way from the bottom up. Okay, and then here's the last one. You notice that this tab has a little hole cut out of it, and that's just so that it doesn't obstruct the hole on this side here. Because we're going to actually tie some ribbon into these little holes here. And I don't know what I've got on me here. Just some ink, I think. Just some ink, I think. Okay. All right, so moving right along here. Let's get these tabs folded over. Let's grab our next little piece here. And just like we did the first time, start at the bottom, work our way up, just to kind of create this little basket. And these would be great for even a wedding, I think, depending on the colors that you select. Obviously, you can use the wedding colors or the bridesmaids colors. Okay, so just get that lined up, nice and aligned with the bottom there, and give that a press. Okay, that seems to be in place, so we'll throw a little bit of glue on the next two tabs. And again, just following that natural curve there, I'm going to get my fingers in on this side and give that a press. There we go. So start by anchoring that bottom one, then just kind of work a couple tabs at a time. I could probably just do all three of these that are left here. There we go. So let's get these tabs folded over. And the last section here, just got two more sets of little tabs here to get connected. Again, start at the bottom here, make sure that that's nice and lined up with the base there. And fold these tabs over. Let's get some glue on the next two. And again, just kind of following that natural curve there. Give that a squeeze. There we go. It's looking good. And our last three here, and then we can go ahead and join this thing together. There we go. Okay. All right, so fold these over. And I'm just going to join this and make it all one seamless piece. Let's just again start at the bottom here and get that lined up nicely. There we go. Okay, now this is where we're gonna have to kind of improvise a little bit, and we can just lay this down on our table. We have to put our glue in from the inside, and you can kind of see the tabs there. Same thing, it's just it's gonna be hard for you to see this from your vantage point, but I'll show you here. You can see those three tabs there, pointing to them here. 1, 2, 3 right there. And just put some glue on those, and same concept, same process. Just work your way up one at a time and get those connected. Okay, and that just leaves these last two tabs here. just spread some glue right on there and close that up. And you know you got it lined up nicely when you get to that last tab, and that little hole that we put in that tab matches up nicely as well. And that is the project trying to tell you, good job. Okay, so now that we've got the base of this assembled, we need to put the bottom on, or actually, well, the structure of it. Now we're gonna put the bottom on. So pick a tab, any tab, and let's get some glue on it. And just get that glue right out to the very edge there. Now you've got two of these pieces. One has a little L cut into it. That is your liner. That's going on the inside. This is the outside piece. And what we want to do is just connect that with that tab that we just put glue on. Make sure that you've got it nice and centered and nice and lined up. And give it a second while it gets its initial hold. And then you can put it down on your surface and press down like this to get it to really stick. Okay, so let's take a look at our work there. That looks good. Okay, and then we can close it up by putting glue on the remaining tabs here. And work some of that glue out to the edge. Spread it on there nicely. This is all going to be covered up, so if you make a little boo-boo down here, it's not the end of the world. Just flare these tabs up a little bit and then press down gently and run your finger along the perimeter here to get that to stick. And once it's got its initial hold, you can flip it over, and I kind of pushed way too hard there. And it came loose a little bit. Let me be a little more gentle here. There we go. Okay, so our bottom is on, and that looks nice. Now we can throw a little bit of glue onto these tabs here on the inside, and then a little bit on the inside, and take your liner and just pop it right in there. It's gonna kind of reinforce this a little bit and make it a little more sturdy. Okay, so there's the base of this thing. And the next thing we're going to do is, now take a look at where the handles are, okay? The handles are going to be on the side that does not have the I love you on it. Okay, so it's this side here. So we're going to glue that down like so, just like that. Okay, so the I love you side, so the handle is going to be going this way with the I love you on the front and the back. So we can actually start gluing this down. And let's get our glue on the back of this guy. And just make sure that you get some of that glue out to the little scalloped areas so it doesn't come undone. Okay. And again, I love you on the front and back. This is the side with the handles. And just match that up with the existing scallops at the top there. And just press that down nicely. Make sure you got a nice firm hold all the way around and that it's nice and flush with the top. Give that a good squeeze at the top so it looks nice and seamless there as well. Okay, and then we can move over to the side here where we have our beautiful little I love you. And let's get some glue on this piece. So as you can see, this is probably about a 30-minute project if you do it right. Not including the cutting, but there's not that many pieces on this either. Okay, again, just kind of matching it up with the little scallops at the top. Give that a nice squeeze there at the top. And then press down along the sides here. Make sure you're getting good contact all the way down. Okay. Get that on there nicely. Beautiful. That looks great. Okay, so that looks good. Let me get my other pieces out of here that were hopefully... All right, Matt, good job. My mat did it. Okay, so again, this blank one without the I love you is going to go on this side now. Okay, so let's get that glued down. Nice quick little project, and then we're going to pretty it up with some ribbon. That's optional, of course. You don't have to, but it would really make it stand out and pop. Okay, so let's get that lined up with the nice scallops at the top of the heart here. Give those a press, and then just work your way down. You can kind of stick your hand in there and just kind of sandwich it onto the main structure here. Okay, and then we've got the last one with the I love you on it. We still need to add some foam squares to that and get that in place, but that won't take but a minute. Okay, and here we go. Nice squeeze at the top. And then just press that on nicely. Beautiful. Okay, so let's flip this over here, and I'm going to get my foam squares onto this piece. There we go, and there we go. And let's pop that off. Little backings. There we go. Get that nice and centered. Beautiful. And I'm going to fill this up with some crinkle fill, and whoa, whole bunch of horses there, and it'll look nice. All right, so we can polish this off and pretty it up with these little liner pieces at the bottom, and there's 4 of those. They're all individual. Just make sure that you get that glue out to the very edges there. Okay, and it should be nice and flush with the bottom. Nice and flush with the sides as well. Just like that. There we go. Make sure it's nice and centered. Beautiful. Moving on to the next piece. You're just going to repeat this 4 times. So if you understand the concept, you can go ahead and skip to the next part. That nice and centered, nice and flush with the bottom. There we go. Beautiful. That's a nice little touch. Just makes it look more complete. Okay. And there we go. Get that nice and centered, nice and flush with the bottom, and voila. This paper is beautiful. It really makes this project pop. There we go. And one more. And that just leaves our little hearts here for the bottom, and then we've got the little handle. And this guy is ready to be filled up with some goodies. There we go. Nice and centered. Beautiful. Nice and flush with the bottom. Mine's a little off right now. There we go. And voila. Good job, Leo. Good job, dreamers. Look at that. That's so pretty. You guys are going to love this little basket. It's adorable. Okay, so again, there's 4 little corners here, and these little hearts that aren't as round, they're kind of a little thinner. Those are going to go right on the corners, so just get your glue onto the hearts, and you can see this little section here. That's where this heart's going to go. Just right there on the right out there on the corner, just like that. Okay, so do that 3 more times. Got a little globby there. Get it nice and centered there on that piece there, so you've got a nice even border going all the way around. You can see that there, hopefully. You should be able to. Yep. There we go. And two more, and then it's just the handle, and we are good to go. Okay. Yeah. All right, last one. There we go. I mean, that alone is really cute, even without the handle. But of course, we've got a handle. All right, so the handle's made up of these pieces here. You'll notice that right around the hole here, there's a Roman numeral 2, and this one's got a Roman numeral 1. The 1 is going to go on the bottom, okay? Yeah, so here's my 1. It's going to go on the bottom there with the holes are going to match up like that, okay? And then we're going to, obviously, that's going to be your handle. So can literally just, up to this point here, let's just get our glue right on here. Make sure that you get it all the way on there. And then just match it up with the holes. Okay, so we've got these connected, and what we want to do is just kind of train this a little bit. Just kind of run it through your fingers, just to kind of give it that angle that it's ultimately going to have. You don't want to overdo it just yet, and because it's going to look like that, obviously. It's a handle. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take this white piece and just glue it to the red piece, or the cherry piece. And you know, one side is going to have a hole in it. Doesn't matter which side you put where, just as long as you get it nice and centered. So let's also kind of train this a little bit too, just to get it kind of moving in the direction that we want it to move. And just go kind of easy on the glue here. We don't want any of it squirting out. I'm gonna, once I apply this, I'm gonna dab this a little bit just to kind of get rid of any potential hazardous areas that might kind of show through. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of run my finger like that. All right, and let's match this up with the little hole on top here. Just like that. And then make sure it's lined up with the hole, and then center it all the way down. I'm gonna have to kind of nudge it a little bit here and there. There we go. And just push that down flat. Now while it's still kind of setting, you can kind of bend this a little bit just to give it a little bit of a curve like that. And that looks perfect, actually. All right, so now grab the other side and get our glue onto this side. Just like that. I'm just going to kind of spread this thinner than it is. And get this one lined up nice and centered. Should basically butt up to the other one. Okay, get that nice and centered there. And center it on its way down as well. There we go. And flatten that out. There we go. And again, while it's still kind of setting, you just give it a little bit of a curve like that. Okay. And this top part is going to be a little bit thicker, so you may need to work it a little extra. But that looks pretty darn good. And now what we're going to do is these little areas here without hearts, we're going to actually glue these hearts down just to kind of fill it in and add a little bit of glitter in our case. So I'm just putting a few little dots of glue on this little heart. This one with the hole in it, obviously you want to get that centered around the little piece with the section with the little hole cut out. And then just work your way down the entire handle, adding these little hearts. Just get them nice and centered. Should have a nice even border all the way around. Okay. And give that a press. And you get the idea. So once we get this done, and you know what I'm going to do is, I believe that at some point here, we don't need to put, I don't think we need to put hearts down here because that's where the handle is going to be kind of hidden. So don't put any hearts beyond this last heart here on either side. Okay. And let's glue this one in place. And moving on to the other side here. There we go. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got 3 empty spots here at the bottom. On this side, we've got 4 empty spots, and we're going to put this last heart on the side with the 4 empty spots so that each side just has the 3 without any hearts on it, because those, like I said, are going to be pretty much hidden. Okay, so there's our pretty little handle, and what we're going to do is, again, you've got the sides with the I love you. The other side here, there's a little notch cut into the side there, and that is where our handle, I can hardly see it. Oh, I was looking at the wrong side here. There's a little notch there, and we're going to glue the handle down so that it meets up with the little notch there. So the tip of the little heart shape there is going to meet the little tip of the little piece there. So what we're going to do, I think the best way to do this is, well, you could do it one of 2 ways. We can put glue, let me see how much glue we need to put in up to where. Okay, so, you know, I'll tell you what, let's put glue here at the base of this, just below that section there, and then just draw a straight line all the way up to it and kind of spread it out, and I can see it nicely there. So just get that nice and aligned, and just make sure that you're getting it nice and centered as well. And just like that, make sure that the handle is nice and centered there. Just press that down and hold it in place for just a moment. Let it set. Okay, so you can see what that's going to look like. And then Just going to do the same thing on the other side here. Get some glue here right up to the very edge of that, where the scallops begin in the middle of the heart. And then just get a little bit of glue down at the bottom there. Nice straight line, and you can kind of flatten that out a little bit. And pull that in. Let me move some of this out of the way so I can actually see that little notch. There it is. And pop that in there. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. And again, just make sure that you have it nice and centered. Let's take a look at that. That looks good. And I'm just going to press that down. And get this other side down a little more as well. Okay. All right, and then we can kind of finesse this a little bit just to make it look a little more symmetrical. But there's our little basket. And all that's left to do now, you can see there's two little holes here on each of the corners. I'm going to do a little bow there, and then also going to do a little bow on top, and you can decorate it however you want. So that is pretty much it for this project. Very simple. Again, you can just tie a little bow on the ends here as well as on the top to really take this thing over the top. And really quick project, beautiful, gorgeous, lots of detail, but not hard at all to put together. I'm gonna put some little crinkle fill in there and you know, put some chocolates in there, maybe like one of those heart-shaped boxes full of chocolates, and give it to my lucky Valentine. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Let us know that you enjoy crafting with us. And if you make this or any of the items from our new bundle, would love to see your version. So head on over to our official group on Facebook. Just do a search for Dreaming Tree Group and join myself and the 9,000+ other dreamers who inspire us on a daily basis. So thank you again for hanging out with me, and I look forward to crafting with you again. Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.